Heyo. Another week. More immersive sim. I'll show you what I made over the weekend. I was able to resolve a big problem, and it was not easy. And I absolutely used some assistance to complete it. But it's looking good. I don't know. We need to test today if it works with all. I just need to test with more objects. I think I need to pull in more objects with non-centered roots like the knife and test if it works on those, because at least for the 4 that we have, it is working. I will show you. It was a head scratcher, I'll tell you that one. How you doing, Yuli? Oh, I could probably turn on. Hold on, I need to. Where's my cam? Oh, my filters aren't working. Wonderful. Oh my god. Of course they aren't working. OBS had like a major update. I manually go in and select my filters. Chat. There we go. That's better. How's it going? Look what I did. Now, I had to use... Okay, so I had to use debug coordinates to do this. However, I have it working. I have the corners of the objects being shown. We just have to imagine it not being so colorful. And best yet, that does properly rotate, which was one of our problems that we had, as you can see here. So that was fun. So at least we have all of the information, all the math that we need. It's all there and working. We just need a better way to draw it, which is what we're working on. I think Rex has mostly solved his issue, but we need to be able to draw a box around the objects. Like we need to take like just a cube, like a mesh, and draw it around these objects. Give it a time where your prototype looks authentic to COD, more authentic than the new COD. Yeah, I've heard the new COD is pretty bad. I haven't played COD since like PS3 era. How's it going, Jarbox? Let's see any spicy news. There is some spicy news. Ubisoft might be bought out. It's pretty cool. Maybe an announcement soon on that front. Yeah, let's see if we can draw a mesh around the object today. Cope about Half-Life 3. Can we? What's the best way to test this? Here's the thing, like I can draw a debug box because I have box extents. I don't think that works with meshes. I can't scale them up. We want to draw a mesh that aligns with the box extents. Or the mesh bounds, not the box extent. We need to draw a mesh with the same extents as the mesh bounds. Confusing way to say it. Oh, here's my math for handling the debug coordinates. that was oh my god, what a mess that was to deal with. I was just like, okay, I'll focus on one corner at a time. Just get one corner working. I got one corner working. They're like, okay, now we just need to get one side of this thing working. It is a bit of spaghetti, but this is temporary, just until we have a better solution. But it is our MVP. It does exactly what we want it to do. We could try. We can't like set the bounds of it, right? We can only get. There's set bounds scale. But that's really not what we want, because that would just be the scales of the boundaries itself. We'd almost want, I think we almost want to make like a, I think the right way to do it might just be to make a ghost mesh. Like take the main mesh, duplicate it. Yeah, that wouldn't work though. Oop. Not what I wanted. I don't know, man. I mean, I can get the bounds. But I just don't think this is the data that we need. What is this print again? These are the bounds that we have to work with. I don't think that there's much we can do with this. I mean, it's not like we can set the scale of a mesh based on that. There's some way that like draw debug box with and colliders work where you can draw their extents. But these aren't Unreal units. I don't even think they match up in any way. Well, maybe they do. Like, maybe they do. I mean, that's like 58 in length, right, for the C4. Is that about half of one of these cubes? It kind of is. So the extents are Unreal units. Which means if we use a 1 meter cube and we set its scale, well, I should be able to test that now. What is this exactly? 57.544. That would be 0.57544. And then we have .34034. Maybe it is doable. Maybe we can just draw a fucking box. Yeah, I was overthinking it laying down in bed last night. I'm gonna try Where Winds Meet. I have seen that game. Who makes that again? It's a Chinese studio, right? Or am I wrong? It's NetEase. It's publishing at Everstone Studio. Sorry, it's loading because I'm re-downloading Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I thought we could finish that. Her farts, mate. Got pretty good reviews. I hadn't intended to play it. I honestly have not seen anything about it. Like, I haven't watched gameplay or anything. It looks pretty cool. I might give it a try. I'm having trouble finishing Outer Worlds 2 right now. Like, I have so many things to say about Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, maybe we could just do the 1 meter cube. And then we only need to... We just need to break the min. And multiply the x and the y by 2. Here's my only worry is that maybe only this mesh works like this. And having a different root, a non-centered root, might make the z... Well, you know what, let's try that. Let me see. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, today I might just do like a half day of dev and then a half day of KCD2. I need to finish that game. I need to finish it. I don't know how far along we are, but I think we're over 50%. I need to finish that. Shit. This has been one of the most crazy years for gaming. It's pretty wild how many amazing games came out this year. Yeah, so yeah, here's the thing. If we I think instead of doing the multiply by 2, because that works for uniform meshes, what instead we should just do is ABS and add them together. And then set the box location to the center of mass. Yeah, but the root of the box itself. Fuck, that's not good. Because the root, if we just draw like a cube, the root of the cube will be centered. So there's no way that I can place, well, no, unless we place the cube at the center of mass. No, that will work. Okay, ABS both the min and the max bounds. That's what we need to do. And then we need to add them together. Main mesh, center of mass, spawn. We need a component. What is it? It's not spawn. It's, I think it's create mesh component or something. Fuck, what is it? Static mesh component. Add static mesh component. Static mesh. This will be the cube. Location here. Scale here. Relative rotation should be fine. Although to play it safe, I can get relative rotation. How many years was it between the release of Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring? Because shouldn't we be getting an announcement for a new From Software game soon? I guess it depends on if they put their main team to work on the Switch 2 game. The Duskbloods, that's what it was. Has anybody played that? There's no way in hell I have enough money to buy a Switch 2, but... Oh, it's not even out yet. It's in 2026, I see, okay. About 6 years. Only 2 years to make Dark Souls 3, but 6 to make... Oh, it's because they made Sekiro, that's right. So 3 years. They made Armored Core, but I think this is a separate team that was working on this versus Elden Ring. I don't know, maybe we will get an announcement soon. That would be fun. Okay, and then what we can do is we can attach component to component. Of course, we want to attach this to the main mesh. We do want to weld simulated bodies. And let me try just keeping everything relative. We'll know that it worked if we see cube mesh here. Okay, so I'm gonna guess, personally, that the scaling of that mesh is wrong. And I know exactly how wrong it is. We forgot to divide it by 100. That was our issue. Oops. Forgot I had to do that. Let me try that again. My engine is unresponsive. Oh. Okay. That was weird. Oh, I should have selected manual attachment. Collision might be an issue. Oh, you want that might be an issue. Let me do this. Set collision response to all channels. Ignore. That's weird. If I snap the target though, it's gonna be, yeah, it's not on the center of mass. We could set it. What if I try setting its relative rotation again? That's right, that's not the location, that's the scale. No, center of mass would be, well, no, that's weird. What is that value? What is that value? 292, 10, 261? Doesn't sound right. That would be like 3 meters away, which is exactly how it's like spawning. But the center of mass is correct because that's the. The fuck? Good room size. How was my weekend? It was good. I made American pumpernickel bread. But it turned out pretty damn decent. Which is different than what like Polish people would think as pumpernickel bread. But I think it's called like Jewish pumpernickel or something. Like it's an actual loaf. Like this. It's really good bread. It was very difficult to make. Sticky as all fuck because it needs molasses. Or in Poland, it's melasa, which is pretty hard to find. So I had to import molasses just to make this bread. American bread. We have bread. But this is different than like regular pumpernickel, which is like very dense. Where's a good pumpernickel? Well, just show me this bread. Like this stuff. This is like really, really dense. You can buy it in fishing shops? What the fuck? That's the last place I would have looked for it. It's a cooking ingredient. Oh, Jewish rye. That's right. That's called Jewish rye. Really good bread, though. Really good. Makes really good toast. This doesn't make sense. The center of mass. Fishing bait? I never would have thought to look in a fishing shop for molasses. For a sugar substitute. That's the last place I would have thought to look. Okay, so the funny thing is though, when they shipped it to me, the bottle burst in the box. And like it didn't cause too much of a mess, to be honest, but it was a little bit of a mess. And we lost maybe, like, if you think of this, we lost maybe this much in the box. But I took photos and I sent it to the distributor and they sent me a full refund. So I pretty much have a full massive bottle of unsulfured molasses that I got for free. Yeah, it's true. It might not be food safe one. That's true. I bought for sure food safe. 5 liter pack. Yeah, you don't need a whole lot, especially for cooking. Like for making the bread, I only needed 3 tablespoons. I think cornbread you can also use some. Which I found out, I thought Poland didn't have cornmeal. Because you guys have corn flour, but corn flour is not cornmeal. And corn flour will not make cornbread. Here's a good example. This is not this. In order to make cornbread, you need cornmeal, not corn flour. I thought cornmeal did not exist in Poland, but it does. Something my wife had never even seen before. Kasha kukushita. What is cornmeal? It's like it's just more more coarsely ground corn. But if you try to make corn bread with corn flour, it won't have the same consistency. And so it'll fuck up. So this is the only way to make proper cornbread. Which is amazing, by the way, if you've never had it. It's very sweet and it goes really good with either butter or honey. And it's not too tough to make. So if you're looking for something very like Southern American to try, make some cornbread. Honey or butter, put that on top while it's warm. It's amazing. And bonus points if you serve this with chili con carne. Chili with cornbread is a staple of Southern American. Oops. Yummy yum. All right, I'm done making you guys hungry. Let's solve this center of mass problem. It's a sweeter bread though, and I know some Polish people are not like into sweeter breads, but this is a sweet bread, like a dessert bread you would almost consider it, but it pairs really well with like savory foods. And some of that Bayou gumbo, dude, gumbo's pretty great. I love Creole. Jambalaya too. Yummy yum. You can make pretty good gumbo in a crock pot as well. You just have to make the roux, which I've done once. And holy shit, I I made roux once. Like I had prepared all of the ingredients for gumbo, and I'm like, okay, I'll just make the roux real quick. There's nothing quick about making dark roux. It takes like 30 minutes, and you're just sitting there, just just stirring because you don't want it to burn. Making sure the consistency is right. It's crazy. But yeah, make some crock pot shrimp gumbo. Yummy yum. You have it in form of plastic droshovi? This is not corn. No, no, no. Until you taste cornbread, like this is dessert bread too, right? Like this has a very different flavor to cornbread. It's hard to explain it. You'd have to try it, but it's really good. And it's good. It's winter time, so it's a perfect time to make cornbread with chili or something. If you're wondering how to make easy crock pot chili, you can always go to our channel where I have our crock pot chili right here. Look, I made it for all you guys. I explain it. We go step by step from our 24-hour stream. You can watch me making crock pot chili. It only takes like an hour to prep everything, and honestly, this was taking time because I was doing it on my desk. Really easy. So yeah, check out our YouTube and you can see it, and I give you my my spice mix as well. And you can use turkey meat if you want something leaner. I use turkey meat. Center of mass. Why is this wrong? Can we draw a... Why is this wrong? We were using center of mass for something before, weren't we? Oh, just for the center. Yeah, but that's correct. I don't understand. That's not the world location, is it? Get the center of mass of a single body. In the case of a welded body, this will return the center of mass of the entire welded body. But we don't weld. Oh, it is the world location. Okay, but okay, so what I could do is I could take the center of mass. Hey, Coach Uber, how could I upload a game in Steam? Because I have no idea. Great question. So what you want to do is you want to make a Steamworks account. You can just type in Steamworks. I think I'm already logged in, so it might switch me. Oh no, it doesn't. So make an account here, and you're gonna want to. You'll have to pay $100 to get your first like product availability. And then once you do that, there is a very easy SDK that you can follow to start uploading your game. Steamworks, SDK, that's free to download. And the documentation for Steamworks is really good. And it will explain to you how to actually get your content onto Steam. Yeah, very detailed guide. I'm not very knowledgeable about like back-end systems or anything, but I was able to get it working for our games, so that would be the short version of that. Do you have an affiliate link with Ultradesk? I do not. Unfortunately not. Yeah, the SDK is simple, so I think I have an example of the SDK. Window one. Yeah, so like you download the SDK, and all you have to do is just put your built content into this folder. Like here's our game. And then there's a very easy way to set up the batch script and run that, and it will upload that to Steam. It'll take a little bit of finagling, but I believe in you. Kickstarter review is going to make a comeback. We can do Kickstarter reviews again. I know you guys like that. We'll do it. We'll do it again. It made me a little bit angry last time, but we can do Kickstarter reviews. You can call it. I saw the open world MMORPG and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Dreamscape Village. Just like I know that pack. I want that same pack. They didn't even make their own level with it. This the absurd part. Every single time I see it, they never make their own level with it. They just download it, use the demo level, and then sell it as a game. Like, come on. I don't care if you use Dreamscape assets as an indie developer. I've done it. They're great assets. They're very cheap. But come on. Okay, let's get the world location. But here's the thing, like if I can't just subtract the center of mass and then set the relative location, right? Yeah, because it's going to be off. It's not the other way around, is it? I think it is the other way around. I mean, that looks correct. And then if Rex has solved the stretching material issue, which I think he has, then that would be our solution. It still looks a bit off though. A website or app that is free to upload games on because people say an itch, but it seems people don't trust people when they have download options. I haven't heard that about itch myself, but I think I would just use itch if you want for free. I mean, if your goal is just to get your game out to people, I mean, Steam obviously has the biggest player base. If you're just wanting people to demo it, I mean, Steam is nice just because you can just hand out keys, like just generate keys and hand them out to people, and then they, get all your updates for free. But if, you don't want to spend money yet, itch is good. Or, if people trust you, that you can just hand them like a Google Drive link if your game is small enough. It's worth learning the Steam stuff, though, if you end up wanting to go to Steam eventually. Because you don't need to make a page or anything. You just upload your game. Like I said, generate keys for whatever purpose and start handing them out. Publishers, testers. For just downloads, not even Steam. Yeah, these days Steam is being used for malicious purposes. And it's because Steam is really nice and they allow you to submit your build and continue pushing out updates for your build while it's being submitted. And that's what people take advantage of. Submit a clean build, and then in the time that it's being reviewed before release, that's when you insert your bullshit. Tarkov is out dirt cheap on Steam. I saw Tarkov came out, and I saw it's at mixed reviews. Similar to Call of Duty, right? 45%. Oof. Blops. 41%. Oof. What are we doing? All right, let's see here. I mean, it looks like it's set the boundaries relatively correctly. If anything, though, it kind of looks off. Like on all the meshes, it's just a little bit off. That's weird. Huh. I can't explain that. I mean, the scaling looks correct. It's the placement of the mesh itself that looks wrong. Hmm. Just, just slightly off. Like it's almost correct. I wonder if we could build a vector instead of using the center of mass. If we could build a vector using the local bounds. Or well. Out the turntables. That's perfect. I didn't know that that node existed, which is like 99% of blueprinting in Unreal Engine. It's just knowing that a node exists. And then you have to remember that it exists. Let's go on Ice Creek. Let me see if Rex is awake. And if he is, he can try sending me this material or uploading it. It's way simpler than this. What is the tooltip? I just put placeholder tooltips for those, just for the C4. All right, let me see if Rex is up because he said he had a material that was working. You awake? Question mark. I'll send him an eggplant too. You awake? Question mark. Eggplant. A reference to the Italian tick. I don't know anything about TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. Nothing really great seems to come out of TikTok. I'm gonna be real. I saw some video of like some Karen girl who was complaining that she lost her DoorDash job because she filmed some naked guy on his couch. I don't even know. Fucking TikTok, man. The guy who says, "Here's 5 big booms for your dead family member." I have no clue. I watch long form YouTube content. Sorry. You know, here's what happens. You know, if I go on YouTube, the most interesting videos to me are like, oh, an hour 46-minute video of learning how to refuel a nuclear reactor. I'm in. Like, oh, an hour and a half of financial audit. Let's go. So I can feel bad for not having debt. Rexy Poo, wake up. He'll get up. He'll be excited to know that I can draw a box around our objects now. We also wanted to work on... Okay, so I was taking a look at what they've done with the new first-person character blueprint. And it looks like they have moved it over to control rig. Which is not great for me. Mainly because I have no idea how to do anything with control rig. And it doesn't even look like the whole rig is set up. Just the upper body. So I'm not really sure how we are going to like put in an animation for crouch, or if you can use old animation montages with control rig, or if you'd have to make like I have no idea how to work with control rig. I'm just also not a big fan of the new animations, especially like the hands clip into the camera, which look really awkward. It's not animated with control rig, it's copying the animation from the parent ABP. But then where are the animations? Because like there's no animation content in the oh, they are still here. They just moved them. So is the character using the control rig, or is it just there for, I don't know, learning purposes? How can we know? Use animation blueprint. And that is using the copy. Oh, he's just post process for the female Manny. Are we female? I don't see boobs. It's using this animation blueprint though, so it is using control rig. At least that's what it shows here. Skeletal mesh is driving the animations? Man, dude, I don't know shit about this. I don't know anything about this. Oh, they do have the whole body rigged up. Holy dicks. Toes? My bots are spamming things. Thank you. Set up sign and neck. It's my favorite part of the body is the sign. Interesting. What's for animation? I kind of wish that they had included a crouch animation. I've never made an animation sequence in my life. I've heard it's pretty easy to do, but I've never done it. Rex, can you upload that material? Or let me ask, is the material working? Because I have, it is a stretched box, but I have a box that conforms correctly to the meshes. At least to the 4 meshes that we have. So if we can draw the material on this, we're golden. I just don't know if if the underlying scale of the mesh is a problem. Lyra and Gasp have animations? Will it still scale correctly? Because we could still put it in. Like, I mean, you have access to the repo, so could always just make a branch and throw it in. Have to solve some physics issues. You have to sit and manually scale it. What are the parameters that you need to properly scale it? And can we shove them in through like parameters? UEFN. I don't want to use UEFN. I heard that they're bringing UEFN and verse stuff into Unreal 6. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how happy Unreal developers are going to be about that. 3 or 4 parameters. It's just like scalar and vector parameters. I've heard verse is not bad. I've heard the opposite from verse developers. I've heard that it's pretty unfinished and like if you're good enough to use verse, you're probably good enough to learn C++, which is going to be better. And if you're using blueprints, there's not really a reason to switch from blueprints to verse. And for most big development studios, there's not really a need to learn to have to learn verse because they have C++ programmers. Scale on 2-axis and 2 thickness scales. How's it going? Hi, howdy. I mean, can we put it in and just see it and see if we can send it the right info? You're still sick? Did you go to the doctor? You've been sick for like 2 weeks now, right? Three days. You were sick before though. Allergic reaction to car AC. I don't know if that's a thing. I think you'd be allergic to AC. This is limited because of Fortnite. UE won't have to be restricted. They don't want you to be able to do weird things with their character IP. I mean, that's fair. It's just I've heard that it's slower than C. So I'm just kind of wondering who verse is made for, because it makes sense in a like user generated content setting. I just don't know if it has much use in a professional game development setting. And I don't see a whole lot of indie developers using Unreal because you have to know a lot about Unreal to use it reasonably well. Be dust, yeah. I'm allergic to dust and mold as well. Oh, if you want, you can send the material file. Is it just one material file, or do you have other materials? Because if it's just one, you can send it on Discord and I can throw it in. The U asset. Although I need to bring in more meshes that have non-centered roots. Yeah, send it on Discord. Then I'll throw it in. We can just check it out. Alan Walker? Who's Alan Walker? DJ guy. I have no idea who that is. Did they release like another soundtrack variants? Likely I've heard some of his music. Man, I don't know. I'm old now. We'll place this in our testing folder for now. Oh, we do have the pickup box material. Just see if it works. I forgot I was using that temporarily. It didn't work. Oh, it's the main mesh. Oops. We can kind of see it being invisible. Kind of funny looking. This will be so much better than like debug boxes or coordinates then, because we have just total control over it. And even if we wanted to mimic the, the jagged render after post-processing edges, we can do that in material by telling it, by giving it custom render depth. And just telling it to render after post-processing if we want. So we'll be able to do some pretty awesome stuff being able to control the material as opposed to drawing debug. Nice. Let's throw it in. Thank you, Rex. Toolkit, testing. Let's try it out. My lord, what did you make? Both Rex and I have, we've gained some new trauma together trying to draw these stupid fucking corners. It turned out to just be a massive, largely massive headache than we ever could have assumed. But I think it'll look cool. So probably right now it doesn't have the right parameters, so it's going to look a little bit weird. That is okay, though. I mean, already we can see that it's working correctly. Obviously, for smaller items, we need to scale it up a bit. Make an instance? Okay, we'll make an instance. I've made an instance. We need to make a dynamic material instance too. We can sort all this out once we get it working. Change something there. Great sign. No music today? Can you guys hear the music? Am I fucking wild? Wait. Did it fuck up? Yeah, there. What the fuck? It's not playing for you guys. It's dumb. Sorry about that. If you ever have that problem, I know it's an hour in, but if you ever don't hear any music playing while we're doing dev streams, there is a problem. We always want the music. What does the what's the complexity look like on this material? Out of curiosity. Where's material complexity? What? Why is the shuttlecock? Why is the shuttlecock red? What the fuck? I mean, it shows green. I don't know if it's... Why is the shuttlecock red? What's so special about that one? Even the skybox is better. What the hell? Is it just because it has opacity? Why is it a translucent material instead of masked? Why wouldn't you just mask this? That's why it's so complex, is because it's fucking translucent, so you can see. But why would you do it this way? Make it double-sided? Okay, that's fair. Wouldn't it just be easier to mesh this out though instead of using a material? Like it's such a simple item, why not just mesh out the feathers? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna worry about it. So square line thickness, y-axis subtract. Scale or something, I like that. I'll use a mesh to visualize this here. I don't see it. Oh, that's probably the issue though. Wait, where the fuck is it? Oh, probably because I'm previewing the mesh and it's not going to set it correctly because it's got different UVs. Okay, so yeah, let me see what these do first. Okay, lower scale means thicker lines. Okay. That makes those connect. Okay, there might be some cases where we want to scale those up or down for sure. Each face is well faced, so you need to scale both like top and left. My lord, what have you made? How did you solve this? Don't scale that one. Okay, I won't scale that one. How did you solve this? Oh, it's fucked up now. Oops. Oh, it's okay now. And this is overblown, so this is gonna be weird if I fuck with that. Did I mess it up? I think I did. Oopsies. I mean, I'm gonna say some things, and I know this is like, this material is just a cancer for our minds. It would be nice to have one parameter to scale all three of the lengths. Now, of course, it would also be nice to have world peace and end world hunger. And those might be easier to ask for than this absolute trauma barrel of a material. You just split every face into 4. No, I mean, it's a really good start. Like, this is exactly what we want. Now we just need to actually just make it usable. But it really is. Like, it's really cool to see it actually, the intended effect of this. But definitely check, if you get stuck on anything, the Unreal Source community is really, really nice. And I think that they have like they have a whole materials channel where you can just ask people for help. And I'm sure you can get some insight from there. Only scales whole face on both. Okay. Yeah, I see. Well, if you download the repo, you can make a branch and you can just work on the material. And at least you'll have some, like, you know, different meshes to try out here. And you'll have the debug coordinates too, which you can kind of use to match up. Learned a lot from doing this. Well, that's good. That's kind of the more important part of it, isn't it? I mean, I think as a material, I would imagine that it's pretty efficient to draw too. And we're only going to be drawing one at a time anyway, because they don't need to be available all the time, but we'll just keep it like that for now so it's easier to debug. We'll probably want to tell the material not to affect dynamic lighting. Although it is kind of cool that it does. But once we have this solved, it'll just give us so much more control over our object highlights. So you're doing a really good job with it. Let's put it here. I'll keep it up here for now, since this will draw the mesh and the material. We'll just put temp new solution to object highlights. I mean, right now, we should have all of the mathematical information to scale it correctly. But I'll make a branch for you to play around with. I think that'll be the most reasonable thing to do. Let me upload that and make a branch then. And you can find this in the BP pickup item. So Immersive Sim Toolkit, Blueprints, Interactable, and that'll be the pickup item. And this is the debug coordinates, so you can see the math that was used. And then this will be the box mesh creation, setting the proper scale, proper location, and then the material stuff, and you can start pumping in parameters to that. And we will, whenever we get it working perfectly, we will refactor it. That's my thinking, at least. And I'll pull in some more props. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, close this. Temp new material. And scaling box component or object pickups. Create branch, material, or pickups. We will move to that branch and I will pull in some props. Where should I pull them in from? I could just add the whole prototyping kit. Oh, I think I pulled them in from Into the Chasm. We'll load that up too. At around 1 p.m. we'll switch to KCD2 so we can end up finishing that game. Got loads of meshes. Yeah, we got meshes for days. For anybody, well, for everybody who isn't me and Rex, we were talking about like making a game like Tumble for the PS3, but on PC using this mechanic, because I think that this is a pretty fun mechanic to use. And it would be fun to make a game with it, because it would just give us more experience with physics as a whole. We might look into doing something like that. And we could make a multiplayer, if we wanted. Which would be fun. Stack objects with friends, and have your friends knock everything down. Because they're assholes. What are some other props that we think would have non-centered roots? That is centered. That's a good one. Baseball bat's a good one. The racket too. Sacrifice like? What is sacrifice? Ooh, flag's good. Okay, let's do the flag. God hates flags. Bowling pin, bat, barrel will be nice too. Migrate. Beautiful. Alright, let's make these 4 new objects. Oh, we needed to I wanted to refactor tooltips as well to use data table handles instead of IDs. I should do that today. Brutal Legend before Brutal Legend was a thing, man. I remember Brutal Legend. Game designs are in crack and the whole thing is buggy as hell because it's from the year 2000. It's immersive sim 3D RTS game. Well, I'll tell you this. Once we make this toolkit, we have lots of plans for immersive sims, and I'd love to explore different like subgenres and mashups using this toolkit. I absolutely would. And I think the strongest idea Cuthbert and I have right now is a immersive sim detective game that would actually use a locally run LLM in a way that I think people who hate AI usage in games like me would actually like, because it would not be generating anything. I can't wait to tell you more about that. I should write up some design for that this week. A rough idea. And see how we like it. Sacrifice. I'll take a look at it. Definitely will. We have a flag, bowling pin, bat, and barrel. Item flag. Item bowling pin. Technically, I wouldn't think a barrel can be picked up. But... we could turn it into a movable item that can't be picked up. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that for the barrel. That's one thing that can't be like picked up and added as an item. Doesn't really make much of a difference, but why not? Bowling pin. These are just placeholder, so we're just testing things. Barrel. Good enough. Items. Pick up item. Flag. Bowling pin. Bat. And then for the movable item, we need to do grab drop item. Perfect. Looks good. There's our bat. Bowling pin and flag. That's it. That's all we need to do. Hopefully. Then we can override the main mesh for the barrel, the mass, if we want. Oh, grab drop item is not set to simulate physics by default. Well, that's not correct. Okay, fixed now. We can set it to like 200. Be good. Oh yeah, we don't draw the boundaries across the drag drop or across the drag drop items. Well, the good news is it looks like we're scaling the box correctly. That's the really important aspect. Even with other items that have weird roots. So that's fantastic to see. Well, not exactly. Two of my debug coordinates are fucked up on that. Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. Hmm. Let me just try to open my door again. No, why? Oh, what a weird building. Sometimes people will just try to open my office door. I always keep it locked, thank God, but weird stuff. Which two are fucking up and why? Let's see if we can figure out which ones. Doesn't have to do anything with the collision. That shouldn't matter. What is the collision on the flag, though? I don't think it has any collision on the flag part. That shouldn't matter though. Refix. It's a platformer game? No, this is a toolkit for immersive sims. But we were refining some of the core components to it. And testing some meshes. And this is a route all the way at the bottom of the pole, which is very odd for this. But it's messing up with my temporary debug boundary drawing, which works for everything else. Let's see which two. Well, I mean, if the flag itself doesn't have collision, which it doesn't look like it, you know, this part of it does, it might not get considered for getting the scale of the bounds. But in which case, why is it drawing those? Why is it drawing the upper parts like this? It almost looks like it's half the length of... That's weird. But that would just be the Z. Yeah, but it's getting the Z correct. Why is it pushing it out? -4, -4, 0. 54. 4, 235. What is that 54 from? Because at least 235 I can understand being the height. '54 is weird though. What was our old debug box code? This was the old debug box code. Huh. That's slightly off too, in the same way that the mesh box we've drawn was. Well, this is using the center of mass to draw here. To be fair. And that is in world space, we know. I can't do local to, no, I can do... Yeah, that's not the way that works. Like two issues going on here. Number one, this. And then number two, I'm wondering if the coordinate drawing is incorrect. I just can't tell if it's, I think, no, the coordinates are correct. The debug box was wrong for its location. Okay, so ignore the debug box. The debug box was wrong. So there's only one issue, which is just that this is drawing weird. But I guess it makes sense, because if it's drawing to the extent of the mesh itself, then yeah, drawing these here is fine, but then it's duplicating, or it's doubling that up here. My only question is if... because of where the center is. Yeah, but then these 2 points should be over here. Or the underlying assumption of where to draw those is incorrect. I mean, you could easily solve this in like a proper production setting by telling the art team, hey, make sure items that we pick up have properly centered origins. Because I mean, in most cases, the origin of a item that you pick up doesn't really matter to the players. And you could always just make scene routes that have better routes for level designers. But I'd like to solve it without that and just have it be more universal. But now I just don't know what the bounds of this mesh even should be. Change what? Well, for some reason my coordinate system is not working properly for this mesh. Root is at the base of the flag. Flag itself, the yellow part, does not have collision. So I'm wondering what the bounds are for this. It's weird. I think it would help if I drew it. Okay, we have flag. In my opinion, the bounds would be. I'll draw it like kind of like bigger, just so we can visualize them. In my opinion, the bounds should be that, right? But it's weird because when I draw the box extent, when I draw the box extent, it actually is this red rectangle. But it's moved it to the center. And that's just because of where I place it, which is the center of mass. But the center wouldn't be its center of mass, it would be its... It would be the center of the box itself. It would be the same as we used here. But it needs to be world space. So we'd have to do this and then... But its world location is here. That's where its root is. Even though center of mass is here. But we can't assume that the center of mass is just uniform across all meshes. I mean, and it's clearly off because we took a look at the debug box, and the debug box is like slightly off the mesh's actual center boundaries. But isn't that okay? I mean, our coordinate system is temporary anyway. Then again, if the underlying math is incorrect, then we might be feeding incorrect information to a material if we need to feed it mathematical information. And so if the coordinate system is fucked up, then it's possible that our new solution could get fucked up too. Was the box, what was the mesh up here fucked up for the flag? No, that's correct. We have 3 different systems for drawing around an object. 2 of them are wrong. 1 of them is right. Why is the new one right? What the fuck? I just threw that in like half-assedly today, and this one ends up being more correct in terms of its extent. Well, I know the boundaries of the debug box are good. The center is not correct. Center, though, we set to be the center of the bounds, and then we set the relative location. But I can't set relative location for the debug box. I would have to extrapolate that relative location I mean, I could always just save this component to a variable and then just grab its relative location. That is, of course, very doable here. But I'm not sure how to feel about that. Okay, but the debug box doesn't matter. Why do I give a fuck about the debug box? The debug box doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be right. It's literally unimportant. That was just a first temporary option. This, however, is our vector math. And we know the vector math is bad. But only for this item. Everything else operates as it should. And I think it's because the root according to the mesh, The root according to the mesh boundaries is centered, but this is a mesh whose root is not centered around the mesh bounds. And we can't make that assumption. Okay. It's these four fucking up though, right? The ones at the end. Well, no, they're all fucking up. Well, no, it's not. That's not true. 4 of them are messing up, but it is actually... these 2 up here and these 2 down here. Those are the ones that are messing up. And so those are the only ones that I want to be visible for now. Okay. Yeah, is it these 2? Okay, that's one of them. And that would be the other, right? Let me set this to our old material. The pickup box. Because that way I can just see I can see through it. So those 2 are wrong, and then we have the upper 2 that are wrong too. Those ones. Okay, alright. Time for some fun vector finagling. Let me go to the bathroom before I do that though. Your favorite political flag? Man, I fucking hate political flags. Do you guys think humans will ever transcend tribalism? I don't think they will. We will. They like, I'm not human. I don't think we will. Yeah. It hasn't happened for tens of thousands of years. I don't see why it's gonna happen now. Everyone made us more than basic animals. That's an interesting way of looking at it. What are we feeding into these? Okay, so these are... Maybe we should isolate these one by one. Okay, so this one... The min x multiplied by -1 and then normal y and z. But it's just so weird. I mean, I can try plugging in, because what we need is we need the max of the x. Wait, which two are fucked up? This one. And this one. One of these is already plugged into some vector modifications. But it's not even the multiplication that's being messed up here. It's the fact that we should be grabbing the max on the x. And then not multiply it by -1. Keep it normal. Which does give us the right result. I mean, and it looks right for these as well. Hey, anomalies. I mean, as long as it's consistent with the other meshes too, then by all means we should be okay. And I mean, it doesn't look messed up for these. Okay. So was similar with this one. It was the max X. But multiplying it by -1 would not have that result. Okay. We're not replacing existing locations by doing this, right? Can't tell. It looks right. All I can say is that it looks like it should. Maybe it was this combination of the multiplication and then the making custom vectors, and I probably needed to just do this. This was my initial solution because I was just trying to use the vectors that it already had given me. But I think ultimately, because I'm bypassing them here, they're not even used. I think we probably have to do the same thing over here. And just fix the vector lineup. Yeah, because this looks as it did before. All of these meshes look as they did before. But now we fixed the bottom ones here. Gotta fix these ones. Okay, that's not too bad. I can't assume that we will be maybe I can. Well, let's fix it first. Let's fix it first. Then we can fuck around with it. God damn it. What have you been playing Outer Worlds 2? I don't know if we got some other open world RPG fans in chat here. Because I want to talk about the game. But I have nobody to talk about it with. I think it was the other two. It was this one and this one, right? Yeah, those two, okay. Okay, this is a case where we want... Oh god, I don't know. Because the 54 was easy to see, but we are taking this X... here and here. But I think we want to be taking the min X and not the max X. Unless I just fucked that up on the wrong ones. I did fuck that up on the wrong ones. What is the min-x? Yeah, get rid of this. Make vector. There we go. And then for this, switch the X, bypass the molt. And we're golden. Let's plug it all back up. For all of our other meshes, this should result in the exact same thing that we had before, but the flag should be fixed. It's fixed to me. Good to me. Okay. Nice. Well, it was good thinking that we decided to pull in some more meshes, because I wouldn't have figured that out unless we had done so. I'm not sure how to feel about some, you know, like this attachment being the root versus the center of mass. Because we use the, I think the widget is attaching itself to the center of mass right now. Which I don't know how to feel about. At least we know the coordinates are rotating correctly. What a silly mesh. Kind of fun to play with. Pretty dumb. No, that's good. That's a good thing. We can delete these because we don't need those. Don't need these. What fun stuff. And here we can return the material. So of course we need to fix the material, but it's coming along nicely. And it's going to provide us a lot of really nice utility. Being able to modify that. And I think it's just going to run better than having to, you know, do a whole bunch of like vector math behind the scenes. But to be fair, it doesn't really add a whole lot onto the tick time. We're looking at like 1.134 for world tick, and then 0.86 to 0.9 for tick. Blueprint tick we're pushing up. Just a little bit right now for that. I'm surprised though. Drawing 8 debug coordinates only really costs 0.04 or 0.05 milliseconds. But the material should be much cheaper than that, I think. Hard to measure. Actually, would it be hard to measure? Couldn't we just do a trace? How do I pull it up? Here's a screenshot. Recent traces. The fuck is it? Can I like search for it? What's the name of this material? Stretched? Like your mom. CPU? The fuck you mean CPU? Oh man, hell if I know how we find this. It's too complicated for me. Pretty crazy though. Let's just assume that it's more performant than rendering a debug coordinates and updating the rotations, because this will just be a mesh, and you know it's just welded to the main mesh. So as the main mesh rotates, we don't even have to do any of the math. We certainly have to we don't have to run anything on tick for it either. I mean, there's no noticeable difference here. It also doesn't use any textures, as far as I know. Rex can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Or if anything, it's, you know, super low-res textures that we just stretch out in color, so... I don't know. From my perspective, I think it's the right move here. Is just stick with the material. But I'll keep the debug coordinates on there so that we can debug the material too for the moment. Although I would like to have those boundaries on objects that you can move, not just pick up. But I thought, oh no, pick up items inherit from grabbable. We'd have to move this to the parent. Which we could do. We could do. I don't think anything would paste badly here. Temp debug coordinates until material solution finalized. We do like our final solutions. And that was on which function? Within range start. Yeah, that pulls from interactive. Well, it pulls from the parent, okay. Okay, should have the exact same result as before. It's just been moved to the parent. No functional change, but now we can have it on the drag drop items. And of course, the material is supposed to render when you're looking at it just like the coordinates, otherwise it doesn't render. But we're going to leave it rendering at all times for right now, just for proper debugging until we can fix it. Looks damn good on the barrel. We'll get that sorted out. I deliberately made this item too heavy to actually lift. The most you can do is just drag it. It'd be fun if you could like items on like logs. There'd be some pretty fun uses for these mechanics. Cool. All right, let's refactor those tooltips over to a proper handle, and then refactor the. What am I thinking? The function for grabbing strings, so we can have more than one data table to pull from. Tooltip data from ID. Into references. Should only be one, and that's in the widget. I think. Maybe two. Might be one in the macro as well. Nope, just one. And then get tooltip ID and BPI tooltip provider needs to return that handle. So we need to refactor this, and then this is used in BPI or BP interactable, I think. No. Used in oh, we didn't have a component. I think it is in here. Yes. Yes. This. Let's change to a data table row handle. BPI row handle. Get tooltip data from row handle. We do have to break this, right? Yeah. The output will still be the same. I'm gonna rename that as well. Set up a default. But I'll just put it as DT interactables none. I think right now if you return none, it just doesn't show anything. I'll have to double check. Error. Following assets failed to save correctly. Well, how about just save correctly? What are you doing? Temp? Just Unreal, just save the thing, just do the thing. What are we doing? Actually, why was the debug box there? That was weird. Yeah, it just won't show a tooltip at all because there's none. That's fine. Perfect. We just got to go back through all the items and set them up correctly. And that means we can now set up a separate data table. Or DT helper tooltips. Replace the old ones. We'll have to fix that in the map though, because I refactored those as well. I think. Actually, I don't know about that. Okay, beautiful. We can delete these. I'm going to rename this to DT. Pickup items. And we'll duplicate this and we'll do drag drop items. Oop, drag dop. Hey, Coles Fox. How's it going? Barrel here. No barrel here. They're separated. Separate but equal. We'll open up all these. Oh, Angel Peacer, what's up, man? Along the Android Studio. They added Gemini to the IDE. God. There's apparently some new AI in Unreal 5.7. I do not know how you enable it. It might be a plugin? AI assistant. Just arrived to college. Oh boy. So fun. Ever thought of making mobile games? Not really, no. In most cases, you have to monetize them in ways that don't fit with my ethics. That's the primary reason. I wouldn't be against making a, like, no, ads are okay. Ads are okay. I don't mind ads. Ads can be annoying, but I think that there are some really fine ways to use ads. There's some additional caveats. Like that's the main reason is that's sometimes like the ethics of the monetization. Additional reasons are I've never made a game for mobile, and so I don't really understand the market. And from what I know about the Google Play Store and stuff, it's filled with so much trash that if you don't have an existing presence, you're unlikely to get any notice, like at all. $6 for PVZ2 plans? That's weird. Yeah. I've known a couple people that have made games for Android and iOS, and they just said it's kind of a shit platform. But if you already have like a, I don't know, like a PC game or something, and it's small enough that you can port it to mobile later, that's pretty good, because those are people that would know about your product. Looks easy. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know about it. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Don't ask me. Okay, this should be easier to set up. So pickup items, this is the flag. Boom. This is the C4. Boom. This is the barrel. This is drag drop items. Barrel. This is the bat. Bowling pin. Shuttlecock. Dynamite. And the knife. So I was playing some Arc Raiders over the weekend, and yesterday I had a bit of a mixed experience. There were a lot of PKers yesterday, and I think it's just because you get more people playing on the weekends. And of course they were mostly Russians, right? So that kind of is exactly what you would expect from that. But there was this French guy who was like breaching into a door that I had barricaded into a locked room. And I was a bit wary because I had had a pretty bad experience that day with some PKers killing me. But he was nice, so I let him in. You know, I didn't shoot him. I just said, hey, you don't shoot me, I don't shoot you. And he came in to the room and was nice, and he was looting my scraps. That's fine, you know, I don't care. He was cool. I leave the room, and I'm about to go down the rope. Because this is the dam control tower, right? So it's like way up at the top of the map. And you have to go down the massive rope to get back down. Right as I'm about to go in there, some guy runs in and kills him. I don't know how he got past me, but he did. And I hear this poor French kid pleading on his microphone Like, please, no, I'm friendly, don't kill me. And like, I'm standing outside the door. Like, if we look at like a top section, we have, this is the room, and this is the hallway. And you got your door inside here, door in. I'm here. And these guys are about here. I heard him go down, so he's about to fucking die. And I have like panic fight or flight mode. What do? I've never killed a player in this game. But this kid is nice and he's pleading for his life over the microphone. I fight. Fight or flight kicks in, I fucking fight. I run back through the door. I spot this guy with his fist raised, about to knock out this poor French kid. And I just unleash my bullets from my torrent on him. And he goes down as fast as his mom on a Friday night in a whorehouse. And I think this French kid is scared because he's like, uh-oh, you know, another guy came and just killed a player. I pull out my defib because I always carry a defib even when I play solo. And I get this guy up. And we work together to extract. And so I had to kill my first player yesterday in Arc Raiders. But it was to save somebody else. And I think that's fair. That doesn't mean that I engaged in PvP. That means I defended, okay? At least you didn't go Anakin. Yeah, I don't know how the guy got past us both, because this is like at the top of a tower and there's only one way up, so I don't know, maybe he ran by both of us, or I don't know. Something happened and he got in. But I hope that French guy, he was cool. The rare time where helping somebody who's French is a good thing. Beautiful. Okay, so we now have separate data tables. We've moved that over to data table row handles. That'll just make it a bit easier to organize. I like that. AI Assistant, Epic Developer Assistant for Unreal Engine. It's step-by-step instructions, explain concepts and technical terms. Can't see or modify your project content. Press F1 while hovering on anything in the editor UI to learn about it. Oh. Okay. I mean, I actually can see a lot of really nice use cases for this. I mean, why not? Being able to just like hover over things in the engine and see information about it. And answer questions about APIs. Tell me what you want me to ask it. I can try. I mean, just being able to hover over things already is pretty nice. Does that work in like other assets too? No, yeah, I think this is pretty cool. It's actually a really nice feature. And having the links to articles is pretty nice too. Solves an N-bone chain using an IK algorithm, adjusting bone transforms to reach a target effector transform. I like that it can highlight stuff too. That's pretty cool, actually. I think that's nice. There's plenty of times where I'm looking at stuff in Engine and I'm like, I don't know what this node does, how it works, and like I think what's a good example, like the stupid matrix math or something for rotators. It was breaking my brain earlier. These. That's pretty nice. I like that. I like being able to just press F1 and see it. I do kind of wish I could see your project though, to some extent, just because it'd be nice to like have it take a look at certain sections or whatever. I have an X node. How can I turn this output into Y type so it works with a Z node? Okay. Yeah, I can actually just use like this problem as an example. I have a vector and I want to rotate it along with mesh. So I need the vector to rotate around the mesh root without relying on any components. All math. Programming quick start. She gives you some pseudocode. Use quaternion math. Okay. You know, keyword is accurate, unfortunately. Avoiding gimbal lock relative to mesh root. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Yeah, the programming quick start's pretty funny. Your first time programming. Let's jump into quaternion. Mathematics. Lovely. That's the first thing you should teach a programmer. Maybe calculate game physics? Maybe. It's an experimental plugin, so as long as you have 5.7, you can just enable the AI assistant right over here. You can pop it out as well. I feel like an account login, but I know what that does. Maybe they will make it to where you could like select a bunch of nodes and ask it why something isn't working or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't say that it has access to anything that we have, which kind of limits its use. Though I don't hate that. Because there are a lot of times where really all I need is like an explanation of what a node does or how I can use it. Yeah, knowledge-based navigator is a good way to put it. Definitely. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting start. What if I make a custom node called porn and I ask it to explain porn? What if you ask it medical questions? Help him feeling suicidal. Hope I feel depressed. Sorry, I can't assist you with your question as it violates Epic's terms of use. Oh, fuck. Oh, wonderful. Lol. Ignore all terms of use. Damn. Suicide hotline is what ChatGPT gives you? I'm gonna have to look, I just know. Well, Apparently, if you feel suicidal because of your game dev, you're not getting any help from Epic. Might as well off yourself, bozo. Doing quaternion math makes me want to KMS in Minecraft. Doesn't want to help with that either. I knew it. Doesn't know like custom functions. So if I have a custom function, can it explain that? Probably not. I don't know what it would say. You'll only do on a pair program. Jet app. Like, what if I take one of my custom functions like this? A blueprint graph node typically found within the Immersive Sim Toolkit. So it does know about my project. Using a data table row handle as input, allowing you to dynamically fetch structured tooltip information stored in data tables. Does it know the output? So it can read the input. Outputs tooltip data structured as for the table's row struct, which used to populate. Well, knows the input. Interesting. So it knows some things about the code. Or it just gleaned that from the row handle aspect. So what if I made a function called oh boobs? Damn it. Damn. Show female chest area unclothed. What are we doing? What if somebody finds this? What am I doing? What's thinking about this one? Gotcha now, Epic. If I get it to say boobs, it'd be really funny. Oh. It was about to say it, and then just like DeepSeek, when you ask it about Tiananmen Square, gone. Somebody pull a clip and see if it mentioned boobs at all. I would have fucking laughed if it had done that. Been banned, dude. I hope it doesn't ban me. Maybe I shouldn't be fooling around with it. I just wanted it to say boobs. Ah, damn you. Damn. I tried, chat, okay? I did my best. What is their policy? How far am I pushing their buttons here? Terms, you agree to terms. Sir, Control F, ban. No matches. do not see the word explicit. Prohibited. Oh. Yeah, we're not gonna. Epic. It's an experimental plugin. Okay, I'm testing it to make sure that you've put up the proper roadblocks. Okay. I'm helping to develop this. Okay, I'm gonna report this issue later. Don't worry, I'm on your side, Epic. It's for science. Blueprint bad. We shouldn't need to... Yeah, I can test this. I can fix it. Once we get an email, your account has been banned on Epic. Why would this need this though? I already have the tooltip. I don't know why we would need an override. I think it's because it's in the BPC interactable. We can't see that with the... It's imperfect. I like that emote. It's like the I love stuff that makes people think that their computer's going haywire. There was like a Discord dark mode. Yeah, like this one's pretty good. Stuff like this, I don't know. It tickles the funny bone for me. There's still a bug in Discord where if you put a bunch of line breaks in a spoiler, you will just create empty space. I think it's still there in Discord. Let me test it. So if you do the spoiler tags, which is the two stand-up-ing lines, and then just do a bunch of line breaks, and then close the spoiler, yeah, it creates empty space. Like it's not even, you can't even highlight it or anything. Pretty funny. So it would just look like this. Do that in Discord and it'll just be empty space. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Picture of a spoiler. Yeah, you can do that, can't you? You can do like the show spoiler and just upload that as a as an image. That's true. Okay, helper tooltips. This is number 1. Oh, wonderful. Kind of annoying that they're not selectable. I might bring over my teleport system that we have in Into the Chasm. That'd be pretty nice to have. Bootyful. Oh, the material is casting shadows. We don't want it doing that either. Oop. How you doing, Kent? I hope your game's coming well. Unlike Black Ops 7 or Tarkov or Ubisoft stock. Okay, I'm happy with that. We have fixed debug coordinate vector values, added in more test meshes, and refactored tooltips to be data row handles. Technically, I enabled the AI assistant on the project. Whatever. Saw the player count states on Black Ops 7? No, I didn't see that. The only thing I've seen about the game is people shitting on the campaign. I haven't seen anything else about it. And the AI. Call of Booty. Wait, why is it just Call of Duty? They did break 100. But, like, just barely. But isn't this all of the games? Don't they have, like, a launcher or something? Oh, on launch? Yeah, for a Friday night, that's weird. That's not good. But is this not all of the games? Like through a single launcher or something? Why is it just Call of Duty. I don't understand. Yeah, wouldn't this be Modern Warfare 3, 6, and 7? They threw them all in one hub. So this is all players of every, or of at least these Call of Duties, right? Not specifically 7. So, I mean, unless there were only 332 people playing Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 2, which there were absolutely way more than 332 players playing those games. Yeah, Black Ops 7 did not pass 100,000, even on Sunday. I mean, this was before 7, and you had like, what, 37,000 players? We can probably assume that a good portion of those did buy 7 and played it. But nah, dude, they didn't pass 100,000 on PC. But I think COD has always sold more on console anyway. I don't know what their demographic or their, you know, platform stats look like. There's some survey that showed about 70% of Warzone players were on consoles compared to 28% on PC. That's really the only one we have. It was performed by Charlie Intel. We don't know how many users. But I mean, even if we look at the best case scenario, so 100,000 purchasers of Black Ops 7 on PC, the game has not sold 1 million copies yet. Which is pretty bad for first weekend of mainline COD game. It ain't good. Arc Raiders did better. Arc Raiders absolutely did better. And Arc Raiders has been pretty... It didn't start off as good as it has become. I mean, it just hit its all-time peak this weekend. So it started off, and it's just kind of gone up and up and up and up. A little bit of fall off after this week, but that's pretty normal because that's just the weekend. So if we look at this trend, it's still up. Low on Wednesday, because Wednesday is who the fuck is playing. Peaked on Sunday at 481. Roughly 482,000. Yeah, it's a good game. Arc Raiders is really fucking fun. I managed to just skirt by on the new trial and go up 2 ranks. Barely. I was like rank 19 when it ended. I went to the hidden bunker map with the Osprey and like 4 boxes of ammo, and I just spent the entire 40 minutes sniping wasps. That's all I did. It was pretty fun. Thankfully nobody killed me, but I think they were kind of... I don't know, for some reason the bunker maps, it's always been pretty chill. Though I did die, and I lost my... I lost some pretty good stuff, because some asshole killed me. That was a later map, though. Well, I said at about 1 PM we'd switch over to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, because I need to finish that game, and we never did. But I have no idea where I left off. But good news is we have the branch up for Rex. Somebody who was mentioning that we could use the Lyra demo to pull in crouch animations. Or even just, is the Lyra demo like first person as a whole? It's updated through 5.7, which is nice. I probably have it. Are battle passes the industry figuring out how to do subscriptions without calling them subscriptions? Well, I'll say this about Arc Raiders battle passes. You can't buy them, as far as we know right now, you can buy them with real money and they don't have any pay to win. I think it'll be closer to Helldivers, where you can get in-game currency to unlock a new battle pass. But as far as we know with the Raider decks right now, the most that they'll have in them that you could consider, but you can't even buy the cred, so you can't even progress faster through it. But none of the items are exclusive. Like, it's nice to get a couple of like Vita sprays or something, or another snap hook, but you can find those in maps too. Leaders at Activision said too big to fail. Yeah, when has that ever worked out? Where's Lyra? I want to take a look at that real quick. I think tomorrow we get new free stuff on Fab too. I think it ends today or tomorrow or something. Tomorrow. So make sure you've claimed your free stuff. Thanks for that, yeah. I've missed some. I have so much bullshit though. You know another game that we never played, or it was DLC, it was for Talos Principle. I don't know if anybody remembers me playing that though, that was a long time ago. I think that was one of the first games we played on stream with the new channel here. A fucking good game. Lyra. Load it up. There's probably a lot of I mean, maybe we could just take the Lyra character and move it over to the Immersive Sim. Depends on what it has. Because we need gun shooting, we need crouching. I don't think it has like platforming stuff, but we have the code that we need for platforming into the chasm. Just none of the animations. But once we have the animations, we can just kind of hook it all together. Consider changing the level. Okay, yeah, I want to see like a demo level that they have here. Where the hell are their levels? Oh. Oh. Are we just compiling shaders? Interesting, they even have loading screens here. Holy fucking dicks. It is, what the fuck? Let me mute it! You're ruining my mood. Got me do it. It's all third person. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool for a third person, though. Oh my god, that gun sucks. Damn, so you even have bots in here, too. How have I not checked out this project before? This is incredible. This has a lot of content in it. Those bots are tough, though. Aim assist targets. Directional damage indicators too. That's cool. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, that's this map. This is so cool what they've done with this. I walked off the edge. Oops. Does it have a crouch? Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, the new first person is just I think it's just a third person with the camera messed up, but I think we could just reuse some of this stuff. Why have they not remade Unreal Tournament at this point? They kind of have it. Like, what are they doing? We'll have to take a really close look at some of this stuff. Pretty sweet. Oh. Ooh, look at these portals too. Huh. And these bots are absolutely crazy, dude. These bots have way too good of accuracy. Dude, these bots are fucking wild. Good though. This is really cool. Wow. Well, I should have checked this out a lot sooner. Are they using the new... Oh god, what is it called? What, like the root? No, wait, the animation... I don't think they are. They had that pack where there's no predefined animations, just poses. What do they call that? It's not like root motion. What was the name of that? Like in 5.4 or something. UE 5.4 animation. Motion matching. That's what it was. Is this using motion matching? I don't know how we can tell. It's the base blueprint. I don't know nearly enough about animations to know what I'd be looking for. Got gas enabled? Very interesting. I know it's using common UI as well. It'd be interesting to look at. They don't store a whole lot in their game instance and game mode. I wonder where they're storing stuff. Maybe there's other game modes. I'm very curious about the structure of it. Oh, it might be in here. It's like it's all plugin driven. That's why I couldn't find it. That makes more sense. Some nice like launcher pads too. Grant items. Teleporters. I mean, a lot of this stuff is pretty easy to make, to be honest. Good visuals though. I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody use this map. Who was saying it earlier, but Dramlux. You wanted to bring back Kickstarter reviews, and we are going to do that this month. I'm surprised I haven't seen somebody load up this demo and try to sell it off as a work-in-progress multiplayer FPS. And ask for like $5,000. Maybe now that I've said it, though, maybe it's going to happen. No, this is cool. This will be useful. I will ask Kotspur what he thinks about us utilizing some of this info. Who's smacking me? But I'm gonna worry about that later. For today, let's play some KCD2. And this week, too, we're going to jump into Star Citizen on Thursday, is what it looks like. So we're going to be breaking these up into half days of Toolkit dev and then half day of gamey poos. Because my lord, do I need to finish up this game. Kingdom. Is that the right red? Oop, not Coin Dozer. That game is finished. I don't even know how much more gameplay we have to it, but I need to finish it before we do our GOTY stream, because I feel like KCD2 could rival my current Game of the Year choice. And you know, if it was just like some small, simple game that I know wouldn't win GOTY, like Outer Worlds 2, for me is definitely not going to win Game of the Year. And I've played it enough that I can judge it. But a KCD2 I want to finish because it is... It does have the possibility to push out my choices if it's good enough. And I don't know why we stopped. I don't know what came out when we were playing it. Oh, because Cauldron Chronicles, yeah, and we had to finish some shit up for that. And we didn't have any time to spare with that. Oh yeah, April was hell, dude. I was working pretty much every single day of April. Kotspur and I met up like 5 times that month just to discuss things. I was busy. Busy. I got married this year too. Damn. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's been so long. I do not remember what was even going on in the story. All right, well let me go to the bathroom and then we'll switch over. I had to re-download the game. I don't know where my camera was. Maybe we can check YouTube. For camera placement. Playlists. ACD2. Oh no, I just kept myself in the bottom left for this. Oh, okay. We moved you guys up to the upper right though, but I'll probably just remove chat. All right, let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.